don't blink. Because if Earth were kicked out of the solar system, the end of life would not begin with fire. It would begin with silence. No giant explosion, no dramatic warning from the sky, no second chance, just one invisible gravitational shift. And suddenly the sun begins shrinking in the distance. The light fades, the heat dies, the oceans start freezing, the air begins collapsing, and every human, every animal, every living thing on Earth enters a countdown to one of the slowest and most terrifying deaths the planet could ever experience. If you're new here, subscribe to Mystrixia, turn on the bell, and stay with us. Because the darkest truths about our universe are more real than you think. Right now, Earth is balanced with terrifying precision. Our planet orbits the Sun at nearly 30 kilometers per second. That speed is fast enough to keep us moving, but gravity from the Sun constantly pulls us inward. That balance is the reason Earth remains in orbit. But if something massive disturbed that balance, a rogue star passing nearby, a violent gravitational interaction, or a close encounter with a giant wandering object, Earth would not fall into the Sun, and it would not stay where it is. It would escape. In one cosmic moment, Earth would stop being a protected world inside a stable star system and become a rogue planet. A world with no path back, no stable orbit, no sunrise waiting tomorrow, just motion through endless dark space. Here is the part that feels unreal. For about 8 minutes and 20 seconds, nothing would seem wrong. The sun would still shine. The sky would still look familiar. People would still be driving, eating, sleeping and scrolling through their phones, completely unaware that their world had already been lost. Why? Because sunlight needs time to travel from the sun to Earth. So for a few final minutes, humanity would be living in a lie. Then suddenly, the sun disappears from where it should be. Not fading, not exploding, not dimming slowly, just gone. And from that moment, Earth enters permanent night, no morning, no dawn, no sunlight on oceans, cities, forests or skin, ever again. Without sunlight, the collapse starts immediately. Within days, global temperatures drop below freezing. Within weeks, surface water begins turning to ice. Crops fail. Power systems come under extreme strain. Transportation becomes harder. Entire ecosystems begin unraveling. Within months, vast regions of Earth would be trapped in brutal cold. Within a year, the average surface temperature could drop to around -70 degrees Celsius, and it would keep falling, because Earth would still be losing heat into space, but receiving nothing back from the sun. The terrifying part is this: the planet would not explode, it would remain intact, while life slowly loses every condition it depends on. Photosynthesis ends, plants die, food chains collapse, and the surface of Earth transforms from a living world into a frozen shell. The oceans would resist longer than the land. They hold enormous amounts of heat, which means they would not freeze solid overnight. At first, only the upper surface would turn to ice. Then that ice would thicken, more and more, month after month, year after year. But far below the surface, liquid water could survive for a long time. Why? Because Earth is still warm inside. Radioactive decay in the interior of the planet and geothermal energy from the core would continue to release heat. That means some of the last surviving environments on Earth might not be on land at all. They might exist beneath kilometers of ice, inside black oceans, in total darkness. And in those hidden waters, microbial life, and possibly some deep-sea ecosystems, could continue far longer than anything on the surface. Then something even worse begins. The atmosphere itself starts to change. As Earth grows colder, water vapor freezes out of the air. Then carbon dioxide begins freezing too. The sky becomes drier, thinner, more hostile. Breathing becomes harder. Weather, as we know it, disappears. The open surface becomes even more lethal. The world above ground would no longer feel like a living planet. Not because of giant flames, not because of falling asteroids, but because of absence. Absence of heat, absence of sunlight, absence of the atmospheric stability that life has always depended on. Earth would still exist, but it would no longer feel alive. Could humans survive this? Maybe, but only in the most extreme conditions imaginable. Not on the surface, not in normal cities, not with ordinary civilization. Survival would mean retreating deep underground or into sealed artificial habitats. Humanity would depend on nuclear reactors, geothermal heat, closed-loop water recycling, artificial lighting, indoor food production, and ruthless rationing. No open-sky agriculture, no natural seasons, no fresh forests, no oceans under sunlight, only engineered survival. Civilization would shrink from billions of people to isolated pockets of survivors, trying to preserve warmth, food, oxygen, and order on a dead, drifting planet. And that is the darkest truth of all. If Earth were kicked out of the solar system, the end would not come as one massive explosion. It would come as a slow extinction, a freezing silence, a planet that continues to exist long after it stops being alive. And maybe that is what makes this scenario so terrifying. The universe does not need to destroy Earth, to erase everything we are. It only needs to let us drift.